Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I am a beauty enthusiast who loves to talk about all things makeup, but I also love to talk about fashion, a little bit of lifestyle over here. We do some vlogging, product comparisons, and all of those types of things. So if that type of content interests you, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join the Glam Girl Squad. And today we are talking about fashion fair. I am so excited to be reviewing these products for you, sharing with you my thoughts. We've got a little history lesson coming, not too long, but just enough so that you are aware of just how great this brand is and how exciting this is for the brand to be back. So stay tuned for all of that. We're gonna be doing a foundation comparison between both the cream to powder foundation and the stick foundation. I also have the loose powder and then one of the lipsticks. So I cannot wait to share with you the demonstration of these products, how they wear, my final thoughts, and all of that stuff. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it, and let's get right into this video. So a little history lesson for you. If you've never heard of fashion fair, where have you been? So fashion fair was started back in 1973, and it was created to provide foundations and to provide makeup for Black women. So especially back in the 70s and prior, you know, we say nowadays like, oh, there's no brands that have shades for Black people, but there really were not cosmetic brands made for Black people and people with deeper skin tones. It just did not exist. And so fashion fair came on the line and really changed the game. And if you are a Black woman out here, or you're a woman or a man whose mother was of a deeper complexion and she wore makeup, you probably saw some fashion fair in her makeup bag. I know I was talking to my mom and I was like, Mom, you wore fashion fair, right? And she was like, I think I did. And I asked my older sister, she's 12 years older than me. I was like, did you wear fashion fair? And she was like, I want to say I did. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did, just because in terms of shades, there you just couldn't find them outside of just a few, like literal few cosmetic brands, and fashion fair was number one. So fashion fair was on the market, did amazing for people with richer skin tones, but unfortunately they did shut down. So in 2019, a businesswoman by the name of Cheryl Mayberry McKissack and also former Johnson Publishing CEO Desiree Rogers teamed up to purchase fashion fair and bring it back on the market. So that's why we're here, and we're able to talk about this beautiful and iconic brand that has done so much for women of color, women with deeper skin tones, and I'm so excited to be able to review this collection for you. Fashion fair's global makeup ambassador is Sam Fine. If you don't know who Sam Fine is, you must look him up. Look at his work. His work is so renowned. It's so pivotal just in the industry. And so to have him supporting this brand, being an ambassador for the brand, as soon as I found that out, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. The brand was already good, but like, this is going to be good. So let's get into the demonstration, because I've been talking a lot and I know y'all are not here for me talking. You're here for these products. I didn't pick up the primer, but I'm thinking I want to go back and get it. But the primer is supposed to be one that will address issues that people with deeper skin tones do suffer from, such as hyperpigmentation. It is vitamin C within the serum. So I might go back and pick up the primer, but I did not get that today. So going in with the first product, I wanted to do a foundation comparison between both the cream to powder foundation and then also the stick foundation. So on this side of my face, I did apply the cream to powder. First, let's talk about the packaging. I'm loving this packaging. So all of the packaging is white and gold, and it is beautiful. So this is the outer packaging of the cream to powder foundation. This is the back of the packaging. Look at me addressing packaging, because y'all know I do not do that. I tend to forget. And then here's the actual outer packaging of the compact, and this is the back of the packaging. I did get shade Caramel Fresh, and it is a perfect shade match, like perfect shade match. This is what the inside of the compact looks like. So there is the cream to powder formula and a really nice functional mirror. And then you can flip up the foundation pan here and you get a sponge applicator that fits here. This packaging is so luxe and pretty, and it has just a little bit of weight. It's not heavy at all, but it also doesn't feel cheap. I really, really like this packaging. And if you get a little dirt on it, you can just easily wipe it off, so it's not the white that stains that would end up making your makeup look your makeup compact look dirty. So I am happy about that. Starting with the cream to powder, this does retail for $37. It comes in a total of 14 shades. And the shade Caramel Fresh is shade number 3. So in terms of the lightest shades, this is shade number 3. This is described as light medium with neutral warm undertones. We get a total of 0.46 ounces or 13 grams of product. And some highlights of this particular product is it's gonna have a cream formula. It is formulated with vitamin C. It's gonna offer medium coverage. It's fragrance-free, natural finish, and cruelty-free. I did read on an article from Allure that Fashion Fair did create their products without the ingredients that would make them a clean beauty brand, but they're not marketed just yet as a clean beauty brand at Sephora, but that was their hope and that is their goal. This is an opulent foundation that glides on like a silky cream and dries to a thin, elegant second skin powder finish. It's also formulated with turmeric that will soothe irritation and help to heal and brighten the skin, and resorcinol, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a skin brightener that helps fade the appearance of dark spots and even skin tone. Of course, with most, cream products that come with a sponge, for fuller coverage, you should use the sponge applicator. I used my BK Beauty 101 brush because I just love using this brush for foundation. I didn't want to go in with a sponge just yet because I wanted to see what the application would look like with a brush to see, how much coverage we can get from the foundation. So as you can see, or as you've already seen from the demonstration, this product blends so beautifully. It just blends and melts into the skin. It was not greasy feeling upon applying it to the skin. And looking at the formulation just a little bit closer, it does have like that sheen to it that might make it look like it could be a little heavy on the skin or like it could be thick, but it does not feel that way. It didn't apply that way also. It's actually a lighter wearing or lighter looking foundation compared to the stick foundation, which we'll get to in a little bit. But I think this is just beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie. It just melted into the skin and I loved it for that. I do feel like this is a product that if I did not want to set and I just wanted that beautiful radiant looking skin, I could do so with this product. So I'm very interested to see how this lasts throughout the day. Just to give you an idea, I have had both of these foundations on now for almost 4 hours. And we're still looking really nice. Moving on to the stick foundation. So the packaging is very similar to the packaging of the cream to powder foundation, just in a more rectangular form. This is what the actual stick foundation looks like. Take the cap off, and this is the product in the cap. This does come in 16 shades. It also retails for $37, and we get a total of 0.32 ounces or 9 grams of product. The shade Caramel Fresh is also the third shade from the lightest in this particular foundation as well, with the same description as the one before, light medium with neutral warm undertones. Some high points and call outs of this particular foundation. It's a stick formula, it's hydrating, full coverage, vegan, natural finish, and cruelty-free. This is a lightweight, creamy, blendable foundation stick that delivers high pigment coverage with a natural semi-matte finish. Some of the highlighted ingredients, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mess this word up. I think it's tribohinin. So sorry if I jack that up. I'll just put it on the screen here because I'm sure I said that wrong, but it's a glycerin-derived fatty acid-infused humectant that helps avert moisture loss. It's formulated with rice bran wax, which is an antioxidant-rich extract that helps to moisturize without blocking pores, and then aloe leaf extract, which is going to be a refreshing hydrator that gently soothes and softens the skin. This particular foundation is also said to have crease-resistant pigments that will help even the appearance of hyperpigmentation and uneven skin tones for a smoother, brighter complexion. Just as an FYI, this brand is formulated for darker skin tones, so that is why if you go to look at the shade range, you do not see lighter, fair, or medium type, like medium light or light to medium types of shades. I'm hoping that they will expand their shade range because just as a spoiler, I'm loving these products. Like, I am loving them. I want everyone to be able to try them. So I'm hoping that they will expand their shade ranges so that fair, light, medium, going into medium can appreciate and take advantage of these amazing products, because everyone needs Fashion Fair in their homes. So with this particular foundation stick, I definitely could see that I could get fuller coverage with the foundation stick. This is so lightweight. Like when I tell you I don't feel like I have foundation on my face, I do not feel like I have foundation on either side of my face. It blended effortlessly. Once again, going in with my BKB 101 brush, it blended out smoothly. It wasn't hard to blend out. You know, sometimes with the foundation stick, the formula is so stiff that it's hard to move around the face. Didn't experience any of that. It blended in, honestly, just as smoothly as the cream to powder foundation blended in. But as you can see, this side does have more of that semi-matte finish compared to the cream to powder foundation. I feel like the cream to powder foundation had a little bit more dewiness to it. But either way, both sides are a perfect match for my skin. Neither side, like there's no differentiation in the skin tone or the shades of the foundation, so I'm really happy about that. And so far I'm loving both foundations, and I am here for both foundations. So let's move on to this powder, why don't we? So here is the outer packaging of the powder. Once again, very similar and reminiscent to the other packaging that we've seen before. And then this is what the powder looks like in its container. And I picked up the shade Truly Tawny. So this is their loose powder, their Set It Loose setting powder. It does come in 6 shades. I picked up the shade Truly Tawny, which is the 3rd shade of all of the powders. And it is described as a warm, deep peach, and it's for medium to tan skin tones. So we get a total of 0.58 ounces of product, or 16.6 grams of product. And some high points of this loose powder is that it's going to be cruelty-free, light coverage, matte finish, fragrance-free, and vegan. So this is an ultra-fine loose powder that sets makeup with a non-cakey, matte, transfer-proof finish and makes your complexion look like magic. When I was reading the article that was written by Allure, they said that this powder also has some light reflecting properties in it that leaves a nice glow on the face. So you're not gonna see like shimmer in it at all, but it leaves like a nice glow. And I'll do like a quick swatch for you. So here is what it looks like on my finger, and then blending it on the back of my hand, that's what it looks like. So as you can see, there's no shimmer in the powder or anything like that, but it has just a really beautiful sheen on the skin. It has blue light protection complexes, so that's composed of soybean oil and rice extract. It's gonna defend and protect the skin from blue light. It also is formulated with vitamin C and glycerin. Of course, you know vitamin C is gonna brighten the skin, smooth it, and then glycerin is a cult favorite humectant that helps to keep moisture within the skin. This powder is also going to make sure that the skin does not look ashy, that there's no flashback associated with it or anything like that. Speaking of flashback, I did do some flash photography with both of the foundations on my face, and as you can see that there is no flashback, it just looks stunning. And then looking at both of the foundations without the powder in natural light, once again, looks beautiful on the face. So sorry I forgot to mention that before we went on to the powder. So I decided to set one side of my face with the Fashion Fair powder, and then I set the other side of my face with my tried and true Kosas Cloud Set powder. You all know how much I love this. So I wanted to compare the two, because that would help me have a better understanding of the powder in comparison to a powder that I truly love. So when I set my face with the Fashion Fair powder, initially, as you can see from when I was setting it in the demonstration, it gave a beautiful soft matte finish. Once again, this powder is not heavy at all. It does not feel cakey or anything. It does not look cakey on the face either. Just did a really good job of just setting the skin. And I think that this shade for me is a good all over the face shade, but this powder is beautiful. Now, I set this other side with the Kosas powder, and I immediately saw that the Kosas side looks more matte than this Fashion Fair side. And like I said, I've had on the foundations and I've had the powders on now for going on 4 hours. We're almost at the 4-hour mark. So coming in a little close, we can definitely see that there's a little bit more radiance on this side of my face compared to this side of my face. Now, if I had thought about it a little bit more, I would have put the Fashion Fair powder on this side because the foundation stick is pulling also a little more matte than the cream to powder foundation. I didn't do that, so we're just gonna have to go with what we see. But we do see a little bit more radiance right here compared to right here between the powders. And what I don't know just yet, I might be able to figure it out after I edit the video, but you know, as I'm talking, I don't know for sure. But I don't know if I'm getting radiance on this side because of the cream to powder foundation, or if the radiance is coming from the powder and not the foundation alone. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Whereas this side, I don't know if we're pulling more matte because that's the Kosas powder, or if it's the foundation. Now, with my experience of this Kosas powder, this powder does a beautiful job of setting my makeup and blurring it. So part of me feels that this smooth look is coming from the powder. You guys know and that's honestly why I love this powder. But I'm definitely gonna have to, of course, play around with this powder more to be able to make that decision. So that's what I am observing so far. I do really enjoy the powder on this side. I feel like this side almost doesn't look like I have any powder on. It just looks so beautiful. I do feel like this side still does look more perfected. And like I said, I want to say it's coming from the powder, but this is my first time wearing both of these foundations. So I will report back to you all after using, both foundations with various powders, if the smoothing effect is coming from the foundation stick alone, or if it is more so the powder. And then of course, updating you on the powder with Fashion Fair. However, I really do enjoy this powder. I loved how lightweight it is. I also like the color of it as well. So I'm going to just table it here, and then of course we'll check back in at the end of the day. I'll share with you my final thoughts, and then of course I will update you as I play around more with the products. So the last product that I picked up is the lipstick. They do have 14 shades of the lipsticks, and they do retail for $26. The lipsticks, when I was reading the Allure website, Fashion Fair wanted to keep some of the shades that they were known for when Fashion Fair was around back in the day. So for instance, they kept the shades Ole Orange and Chocolate Raspberry, and then they created some nude shades, and they said that according to the brand, this is the largest selection of nude shades. So I am gonna go back and pick up Ole Orange because that one is gorgeous. So the shade that I picked up is going to be Nude Etude. First of all, that name, so cute. The cartridge packaging, once again, is the same as the packaging as the other products. Here is the tube of the lipstick, which I think is really pretty. This gold does not look cheap, so I like that it doesn't look cheap. There is a magnetic closure on the lipstick, and then here is the lipstick bullet, which I love that you can see Fashion Fair on the actual lipstick. So cute. So the shade Nude Etude is described as a warm, peachy nude. The facts about the lipsticks, they're hydrating, cruelty-free, vegan. There's a shimmer finish, and there's also a satin finish. So depending on which lipstick you choose, it will either be shimmer or satin. The shade that I have is a satin finish, and I did go ahead and line my lips prior to applying the lipstick. I used the Christian Audette lip liner in the shade Smooches, because I didn't want to take away too much from the lipstick, but I did try this lipstick on without a lip liner, and it was like slightly a little too pale for my liking. So I just put on a lip liner that just had a little bit more depth, and I think this actually looks quite complimentary on my skin tone. They are formulated with sunflower seed oil that will help to replenish, strengthen, and soothe dry lips, and they are formulated with rosemary leaf extract. That is a nourishing antioxidant that is known to soothe irritation. When I applied this to the lips, it legit felt almost like a lip balm with color, but you also have the benefit of this being a satin lipstick, so you get full pigmentation, but it feels really hydrating to the lips. And the first time I put this on, my lips were actually extremely dry, and I was like, let's see how this goes, because the representative at Sephora was like, these lipsticks are very hydrating, and she was right, they are very hydrating. So I definitely like the lipstick. I love this shade of nude. I definitely want to pick up some more shades of the lipsticks. So that is my initial review of all of the products. Sephora is having a sale where you can get 20% off of all the foundations, and it ends on September 20th. We'll check back in at the end of the day to see how things are looking, but so far, honey, I'm liking what I see. So stay tuned and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the day. Okay, we are back. It is the end of the day, and you guys, I have had these foundations on for 13 hours. So let's come in so we can see how things are looking. So remember, I have the cream to powder foundation on this side with the Fashion Fair loose powder. And then on this side, I have the stick foundation with the Kosas powder. And guys, I am blown away. Completely blown away, because I did not think my face was gonna look this good 13 hours later. So first of all, starting with the cream to powder side, because that's what we started out with. When I last saw you at the 4-hour mark, this side of my face, I said, was looking a little more dewy than this side. So I wondered, like, am I gonna be looking more oily? You know, is the foundation gonna be breaking away, you know, around the side of my face compared to this side? And I am happy to report that I feel like it pretty much looks the same. I mean, I feel like you can see a little wear and tear of the foundation. I did wear my mask a couple of times today, putting it on, taking it off. Actually a few times. I went in and out of the store. So I did that. I do see a little wearing away of my blush and my bronzer, but the foundation still looks like it's there. Like when I look at myself from afar, I still feel like I have some makeup on my face. I definitely do see less foundation on this side of my face than this side, but as from the beginning, we did notice that this cream to powder foundation had a lighter coverage finish, so it says that it's going to be medium coverage, whereas the stick foundation is saying that we can get up to full coverage, and I can definitely see those differences there. In terms of things that I did today, Riley was on my cheek, you know, giving me all the kisses, so I feel like some of this wearing away might have come from her, you know, putting her mouth on my face. I try not to let her do that when I'm wearing makeup, but sometimes I can't avoid it. So I do feel like for 13 hours, both sides held up pretty good. Now I will go in, I'm gonna come in close so you can see this, because right here, I'm looking in my mirror so I can make sure I'm pointing in the right direction. Right here, I do notice that there is some like grabbing of, I don't know if it's the powder or the foundation right along here. And I do see that the foundation has like broken up a little bit around there. However, from a distance, I don't think it's anything that's like so alarming and noticeable that it's anything to really like put a strike against the powder or the foundation. And so I feel like this is probably more so a result of just wearing the foundation much longer than I normally would. Remember that the stick foundation is said to have crease-proof pigments and elements in the stick foundation. And looking at my smile line here, I don't see any additional gathering of the foundation in my smile line. So I do feel like, for the most part, the stick foundation does pretty much hold true to being crease resistant. Once again, I will definitely wear both of these foundations more and provide you my more feedback, but just off of initial wear and like how it's looking, I'm just like, oh, we cute. So which one would be best for you? First off, if you like more light to medium coverage, you also like more of a dewier finish, definitely go for the cream to powder formulation. If you like more coverage, you know that you're gonna want your foundation to lean more full coverage and you don't mind like a demi matte type of finish, go for the stick foundation. I feel like all skin types really can enjoy both foundations. Even with this soft matte texture, I mean, it literally just feels like my skin. So I feel like if you have even drier skin, you probably could still really enjoy the stick foundation because it really blends effortlessly into the skin. And with the cream to powder, that's gonna give us a little bit more radiance, a little bit more dewiness, but it's very subtle. And I think you all saw that from the application. I don't think it's anything that's so overwhelming that if you have oily oily skin, you would want to steer clear of it. So I would also agree to the claims that both foundations really are going to be great for all skin types. And I mean, if you were interested, honey, I say go for it. In terms of the powder, I feel like the Fashion Fair powder definitely held up. It set my foundation very well. It set my concealer very well. I don't feel like my concealer has creased too much. If I look up, you can definitely see that my concealer has, you know, definitely been worn. It's breaking down. I do feel like that the Kosas side, I would definitely still say the Kosas side looks more blurred. And even under my eyes, I feel like there's less concealer breaking down under my eyes compared to the Fashion Fair side. So I think for the powder, I think this is a really beautiful powder. I'm definitely still excited to use it. I do feel like though the Kosas powder did, if I could say, lock in the product better. And then just looking at my face, I feel like this side looks more blurred and smooth than this side. So I feel like with the setting powder, maybe it would be a good like all over setting powder, and then maybe go in with like your tried and true powder for the under eye area, because I know for me that's the area that I want to keep looking, you know, as pristine as possible. The rest of my face I tend to not like as much powder, so I think for me this would be a really good like all over face powder, and I probably will stick with my Kosas for like my under eye powder. But that's just my initial thought. So once again, I'll continue to play around with it and I'll report back to you once I have, you know, used it for a few weeks and I can really just like hone down on my initial thoughts. But definitely would still recommend the powder because I think it's beautiful. I love that it didn't dry out this side of my face. We still saw some radiance coming through, and I think overall it still looks very natural on the face, which I truly do love. And then of course the lipstick, very hydrating, very excited to get some more color. So I'm just so happy that this collection is beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm so excited that it has come back, and I really feel like these are like modernized versions of what our mothers loved in the past. So I highly recommend everything that I've tried today, and I cannot wait to like use these products more and see what's going to be coming from the brand. Like I need a bronzer, I need a blush, I need highlight, I need like all the things. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you interested in any of these products? How do you think both the foundations and the powder held up throughout the day? Have you tried it? What are your thoughts? I want to hear all the things in the comment section. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.